On today's episode of FAFO, farmers are again asking for help.
This is not your ordinary farm crisis. We call it Farmageddon, and it really is tough time.
So you guys are calling it Farmageddon? Real estate investors are calling it Farmapalooza, as they can't wait for you to foreclose on your property and then come in and buy your property for pennies on the dollar. And the rest of us that didn't vote for this administration are calling it I told you so Cella. And let's hear what one of the farmers have to say about this.
Our bill collectors want money now. The chemicals, the seed companies, the fertilizer companies, they need it now. They don't want to hear, oh, well, I'm waiting on a farm bill payment that's going to come 2 years from now. They don't want to hear that.
Unless money comes now, it's projected up to 1/3 of Arkansas farmers could face bankruptcy or be forced to shutter their operations.
Now, I have a couple of suggestions that actually might help you in this situation. 1, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. 2, cut back on the avocado toast. 3, enjoy less Starbucks. 4, perhaps find a part-time job. And 5, cut back on your subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu. And it looks like all these farmers have a very similar solution as to what can fix their problems.
Haney hopes if the right person hears his message, it'll spark a positive outcome before it's too late.
77% of farmers voted for President Trump. And all we're asking for President Trump and this administration to do is take care of the farm.
And by take care, they mean another government handout. Which is really weird and ironic because since 77% of you guys voted for this, you guys should be happy with what you got. Because of the policies and the executive orders that he enacted, you guys are suddenly freaking out even though this is what you voted for, but for some reason you guys aren't putting the blame on him. Because you guys are always socialism is bad until you guys need it, then you're like, no, it's good for me but not for you. And the really ironic part is that they need help now, but in that big beautiful bill that was signed, they're actually going to get help at the end of 2026. So I would suggest that you guys properly try to manage your money until the end of 2026 instead of asking for help now.
Yeah. 2026, I'm sorry. They ain't gonna make it. There was a news that came out about how Argentina got $20 million, or it could be billion. And that's going to their farmers. The bailout was supposed to help American farmers, but now it's helping international farmers with their own situation. Making America great ain't looking like the way it's supposed to. I mean, Trump did help some farmers, just the ones in Argentina. Exactly. It looks like someone's not playing on the same side of the team. Why don't they have 18 months of savings put aside? They should be more responsible. Honestly, it looks like farmers are living paycheck to paycheck by the way things are.
We're just absolutely fucked as farmers, guys. Everything is so fucked, and I do not see anybody surviving this farm crisis that we're in. Guys, look, one of the best splorn crops that I have ever raised in my life. And because of the tariffs, China will not fucking buy it. And they are the only country in the world other than, well, they are the only country in the world that buys splorn. And so now I'm literally just chopping it, blowing it on the fucking ground because it's fucking useless. It's valueless. There's nothing I can fucking do to it. I am going to need government assistance to make it through this fucking crisis until these tariffs end. Look, I've never raised a splorn crop like this, guys. And this is just fucking heartbreaking to me. I don't know how I'm gonna survive. You know, Trump said he fucking loved us farmers, and here I am just blowing my splorn crop all over the ground. Hopefully he works a deal out where Antarctica and Mars will start buying this splorn and save the farmers. I'm sorry, splorn crop, but you're fucked.
I don't know if that's supposed to be satire or is he being serious, but it is kind of sad. Honestly, I feel sad for people who didn't vote for this, but are now experiencing this. That's all I have to say, honestly. I live in Western PA, completely surrounded by farmers, and they are all MAGA. Let me repeat that. They are all MAGA. Even after taking a first trip on the Titanic, they willingly purchased another ticket for a second trip on her. Sorry, not sorry.
Donald Trump announced this week that he will be using tariff money to solve a problem created by, yes, his tariffs. Yes, I am talking about the farm subsidies. Here's Donald Trump just this week.
By the way, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, just to get off the subject for a second, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers who are, for a little while, going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit.
Oh, I see. So we are going to take the tariff money that American consumers primarily are spending, which was supposed supposed to go to pay off our deficit, which has exploded because of Republican tax policy, and use it to bail out farmers because why? Trump said they're hurting. Why are they hurting? Let's do a quick review. You'll remember that right after he was elected, Donald Trump put 10% tariffs on all Chinese goods, then that went up to 20%, then he added another 50%, and China retaliated. Their reciprocal tariffs went up to 125% on U.S. goods. In May, the U.S. and China reached a temporary trade agreement, reducing tariffs to 10% on most imported goods. China implemented a 30% rate on most U.S. imports, good for 90 days. But then that was extended many times. But China did something else. They revoked soybean import licenses from 3 U.S. firms. And they basically stopped buying U.S. soybeans at all. This after having spent $12.6 billion on them last year. Instead, China started buying their soybeans from South America, primarily Argentina and Brazil. And this in turn had devastating impacts on American soybean farmers. Started seeing headlines like these and these. And these. In short, the tariffs have been an absolute catastrophe for soybean farmers across the United States. Catastrophe. So what does Donald Trump do? He commits $20 billion in U.S. taxpayer money to bail out Argentina, a right-wing government he happens to love, even though they are cleaning our farmers' clock in terms of soybean imports. Farmers everywhere are outraged, so what does Trump do? Trump decides this week to take tariff money and bail out the farmers. He's created a problem and he's making us pay to fix it. And then we're also paying to fix Argentina's economy? What? This is Trump's genius policy, break the economy with unaffordable tariffs that we're paying and then make us pay to fix the damage the tariffs did? But God forbid we ask for money to extend the ACA premium tax credits. Why would we do that when we could give it to Argentina? Remind me how this is making America great again? You can't, because it's absolute madness and you and I are paying for it.
How is this working? This is like hustling backwards. I don't know where this makes sense. I guess in Trump's economy, this adds up. Y'all let me know if this makes any sense because I'm kind of confused at this point.
This is my 39th crop. I started in 1986, the year I graduated high school. I could plant an acre of beans in 1986 for 30 bucks. It irritates me that you don't have the guts to acknowledge that the people do not pay the tariffs. I don't care if it's John Deere, Case, Caterpillar, all that stuff is outsourced overseas. And the guy that pays it is the guy that purchases it. I can buy a bearing for a combine and it's made in Taiwan or who knows where. Parts have over doubled in the last year, if you can get them. The dealer at Marshall has a backlog for almost 4 months because they can't get parts because of Trump's stupid tariffs. I think agriculture has taken a heck of a hit on a lot of misinformation, and he is not helping the farmer. I mean, we farm about 3,500 acres. We are going to be so far in the red. When are you going to stand up for us instead of kissing his ass for these trade deals? And the tariffs. More so the tariffs than the trade.
Farmer's wife here, neither of us ever voted for that pig of a man. We live in rural OK, I'm guessing Oklahoma, where churches are abundant, but critical thinking is quite rare. I am not surprised. Trust me. In fact, a lot of the people are not surprised. I'm glad that some people are standing up and talking to them like the way they should. I feel bad for them. As much as y'all say I laugh a lot in these videos, I actually feel bad for them because at the end of the day, this was never the plan. We didn't want this to be the situation where y'all voted for someone who'll end up hurting your pockets. In fact, the idea was to vote for someone who knew how to run the economy.
Looking at 1 to 3 farms. 1 out of every 3 farms going out of business right now.
Representative and farmer herself, Deanne Vaught, explains the message her and other agriculture leaders discussed during Tuesday's public meeting in Stuttgart. They say it's a tough situation for farms, many of which have been around for decades.
The heartache of having to decide if I can carry on with the 5th generation farm or the 4th generation farm, and knowing that it lands on me if I don't move forward. That is a lot for a farmer to carry on their shoulders.
Now, despite a recent report from the U of A Systems Division of Agriculture showing net farm income expected to rise 22% this year, experts like Jeremy Ross say the math on the ground tells a different story.
You get $10 and you harvest a 55 bushel crop, that's $550, and it costs you $580 to put that in, then you're $30 in the hole.
Meaning many farmers are operating at a loss with debts that carry over year to year.
The truth is, it doesn't really matter what you grow. You are projected to lose money on an acre, really no matter what you've planted on it.
Brandy Carroll with the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation says inflation, tariffs, and global conflicts have all driven up costs, while crop prices remain depressed. And while experts say the Big Beautiful Bill Act will provide $66 billion in new farm investment starting in 2026, Carroll says by then it's too late.
And so they're facing a really hard choice right now, how to keep their families on their farm and how to maintain their way of life. And so there will be a lot of people making really hard choices.
By 2028, end of Trump's term, all farmland in America will be owned by billionaires and foreign countries. Don't be surprised if you see the Saudis coming to buy it as well. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on this, especially how Trump is trying to use American taxpayer money to help bail out the farmers. Also bailing out Argentina. I don't know how that works, especially with the way things are, but leave your comments down below. Now, if it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, also check out this video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Lots of funny clips in there. But needless to say, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.